Break down what this race could mean for Texas politics moving forward, we're joined by LeTourneau University political science professor Dr. John Barrett. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
How significant is President Trump's endorsement in a race like this?
It's very significant. We've seen many races across the nation where there's been essentially kind of a Trump candidate and the alternative, and so far the alternatives have gone down. And so the Trump endorsement has been very important. And I suspect that that's given quite a boost to Ken Paxton's campaign here to have Trump officially in his corner. You know, there's a lot of kind of wink, wink, nudge, nudge type arguing over who's the more pro-Trump candidate. But when Trump comes out, it's more definitive.
What does this race tell us about the direction of the Republican Party here in Texas?
Well, the Republican Party is becoming more MAGA, more Trump, and we're seeing this nationally. And so these races here tonight will kind of show us how voters in Texas are feeling, if they're in line with that national sentiment among Republicans wanting to kind of double down on Trump, or if they're wanting to be a little bit more independent-minded.
A little earlier on, could turnout ultimately decide this race?
Certainly, turnout in runoff elections is very low, and so it's very critical to drive your voters to the polls. It doesn't take that many to win, and so whoever does a better job at that will triumph.
And there has been a lot of nationwide people just looking at this race. If Cornyn wins, does that suggest there are limits to Trump's influence in Texas with his endorsement?
Well, certainly if Cornyn wins, it will send a pretty strong statement. It'll be the outlier in the primaries we've seen nationally, where, again, the candidate endorsed by Trump has won. And so it would be very significant for Cornyn to pull off a victory tonight.
And finally, looking ahead to November, how competitive could the general election be against Democrat James Tallarico?
Well, Tallarico's going to have a rough go no matter what, because Texas is a Republican state. That said, the establishment, the money, if you will, is betting that Cornyn would have an easier time against Tallarico than Paxton. You know, Cornyn's been elected so many times. It's difficult for me to see Tallarico pulling out a victory. With Paxton, he's a more controversial candidate, so I think that would work to Tallarico's favor.
Thank you so much for your insight, Dr. Barrett.
Thank you.